KFAN.
Welcome back to the show.
Here we go, Paul!
9 to noon.
Oh, please.
Sorry, KFAN.
Oh, my. Wasn't that good?
Come on, man.
Thank you, Minneapolis. Thank you, St. Paul.
Oh, well.
Oh, no!
Holy Toledo!
Shall we begin?
And here we go. Yeah, ba-da-bop. 9 o'clock in the neighborhood being FM 100.3 KFAN. I'm Paul Allen. Eric Nordquist produces. Nordo, question out of the gate. What do the kids call this radio station?
They call it KFAN.
Welcome to FM 100.3 KFAN in the 651 Carpets Plus studios. Courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. Columnist Lavelle Neal joins 9 to noon. 30 minutes from now, Twin Maddox. Bobby Witt came out doing some Bobby Witt things last night with these Royals trying to throw it back to the Bud Black, Freddie Patek, and Lorenzo Cain days. But then somebody got blown by like they were tied to a post. So that was some positive news within the Twins covenant. The Cleveland Guardians take on the Chicago Cubs this evening, and that will take place in the city of Cleveland in the state of Ohio. And that is the destination for your Minnesota Vikings and a couple of joint practices against the rough and tumble Cleveland Browns. And 9 to noon, we'll be doing radio shows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from a ballroom adjacent to a lobby, hoping to get luminaries to join. 9 to noon, whenever possible. Specifically, the requests have been made for former Browns receiver Keenan McCardell, wide receivers coach for the Minnesota Vikings, and former Cleveland Browns head coach Mike Pettin, who coaches OLBs for the Minnesota Vikings. The Edge is what they call it these days. But we have meetings and they have treatment and you got this and you got that. So we'll do the very best we can when we were in Cleveland. Following Seahawk, Chris Hockey, a valued and a vital cog to the wildly successful and highly touted Power Trip Morning Show. He'll be on the Cleveland venture with us doing his part of the P-Trip from said ballroom adjacent to said lobby at said hotel in said town and in said state. So make sure to listen to each and every minute of FM 100.3 KFAN, specifically beginning at 5:30 a.m. Central tomorrow with Seahawk, all the way through 9 to noon from Seatown in a life changer coming up this weekend against one of the better teams in the AFC. Kevin Stefanski's Cleveland Browns. JJ McCarthy wasn't at practice last night.
Oh my gosh, above average at that.
What's the kid doing?
Third down, McCarthy out of the shotgun. Raiders with a big preseason blitz. McCarthy, he's able to get out of it, but then he throws it and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jimmy Jones, who's having a wonderful preseason debut for the 2024 season. Raiders 3, Minnesota 0, first preseason game.
What happened? I mean, we request 9 to noon Productions requests a JJ McCarthy highlight. Nordo's all wrapped up in 15 different radio-related things, likewise for yours truly. So we have the Green Bay Packers loving part-time producer Brett Blakemore find us a highlight for JJ McCarthy I always love that one. And he drops the pick of all the highlights. He drops the pick into the mix. It's a pick mix to begin the 9 to noon presentation. What in the heck was that all about, Eric? And good morning.
Good morning. It's enemy sabotage is really what it is. Whether it's the news that emerged yesterday regarding JJ.
Seriously.
Or just asking simple things of your part-time production staff to be unbiased, to be true.
Yeah.
And just offer us something that you know Vikings fans would love, even though you bear the colors of the nasty neighbor to the east.
Right.
And he couldn't even help himself.
When you are procreating, when you are working on the next great WNBA stable, and we're 3/5 of the way there.
Yeah.
When
Never heard anyone in my life who's more insane than Paul.
And Blakemore fills in for you. It's what did the former president say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's like,
hi, Rube. Can't get fooled again.
Well, you can't go to the text. You can't go to the text machine at 64686 with Blakemore over there because he sabotages them.
He does.
It's like you set up these talkers like, texting. Text us during the course of the radio show today, and this is for real. 64686, or leave an iHeart radio app talkback, R832, an iHeart app talkback regarding some of these queries that are going to emerge and pop up and be unveiled via 9 to noon. Like, if you're Sam Darnold, how do you feel about all this JJ McCarthy hype? What excites you about McCarthy off the Vegas game? Do you think he should start the season, and why? It's like, if Nordo is creating the next great WNBA stable with 5 girls and he's 3/5 of the way there, and Blakemore is sitting in that chair, and you throw out the 64686, it's like, all right, so here's the talker for the day. What do you think of the team into this season? It's like, I like the colors of their uniforms. The stadium is really beautiful. When the pivoting doors are open and there's a slight breeze blowing in from the west, and the lighting in the building is just beautiful. And Alan Roach introducing the team gives me chills. But the rest of it sucks. I mean, you got a quarterback who was floundering with a couple of teams, couldn't even play for the 49ers, beat out Mr. Irrelevant. The running back always gets hurt. And Jordan Addison didn't catch a pass against the Raiders. I'm like, Brian, it can't possibly be all that. So he sabotages things, and he sabotaged the highlight out of the gate where it's like, JJ McCarthy wasn't at practice last night. Throw over to Nordo. Here comes JJ, probably talking about Sherfield Sr. or Tristan Jackson from JJ McCarthy, but no, it's an interception, man.
Yeah, what about the scramble? It could have been the scramble to move the chains.
I'm surprised he didn't find the play, hurt his knee.
It could have been. It could have been.
If it was a play. Or O'Connell did say it was the knee, right?
Yeah, he did.
All right, 3-2.
Well, you do know Brett Blakemore's ringtone is Kirk tearing his Achilles at Lambeau last year.
Okay, come on. Well, I can't be mad at him for that.
Yeah, I might punch him in the face.
Simply because your screensaver is Barr on Rodgers from 17.
And there is your dagger!
You know, PA, we never got to the bottom of who was clapping so loudly in the background of certain things that took place at U.S. Bank Stadium in 2017.
I didn't know there was a bottom to get to. And you may remember from the Vox box at the Palatial Purple Paradise, specifically in 2017, when they were trying to climb into the Vox box after the 61-yard Minneapolis Miracle.
And I believe the purpose was to hug us all.
Yeah, to hug us all. Peel me off the ceiling. But we have fans right in front of us.
We do.
So I don't really know who would go that far with that situation. But
we do need to do an internal audit of the text messages, though, because what Brett does have the power to do is if you send in a text to 64686, Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line, and you have an intelligent and or sophisticated take while loving your favorite football team, that being specifically the Vikings, he has the ability to block your phone number.
Oh, come on!
Oh my gosh, you are above average.
I mean, is that the radio version of leaving somebody on red?
100% is.
I know KFAN saw my text. It says red. How come they're not using it? Because Blake Bretmore savaged it and changed the entire thing and made Christian Darrisaw sound like Oli Udo. I like Oli. Who's that offensive lineman we had from Pitt, like 5, 6, 7, 8? Oh, it's because Blake Bretmore makes Christian Darrisaw sound like T.J. Clemmings.
And there is your dagger!
Oh, the year of the O-lineman.
All right, 3-2. Sore knee, you say?
Yeah, sore knee.
All right, we got to get serious here, I guess.
Well, and it was such a casual thing too, PA, because as we kick this thing off and we go through the first hour, and we ask for text and talkbacks with some specific JJ talkers. We're going to do a lot of this in the final hour too. It's based on the excitement that was built on Saturday.
Yeah.
So now fast forward, Monday night practice. Okay, it's after a game now, so maybe it's going to be a little different, less physical. It's a day before or a day or two before they go to Cleveland, so it's going to be a little bit of a different vibe, but it's still going to be cool. Night practice under the lights. You get to see JJ. And Kevin O'Connell rolls out there. Yeah, he's got some knee soreness. And, by the way, we're going to do more tests, and he might not go to Cleveland with us.
General knee soreness, which is akin to the upper or lower body injuries released by the National Hockey League.
I always love that one.
Well, what were some of fans' favorite general soreness moments? Whether it was Jimmy Butler during his time with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Thank you.
And it's different but similar, maybe perceptually, that the bilateral leg weakness of an eventual Hall of Famer in Joe Mauer.
On with that, JoJo.
Had to deal with that. So bilateral leg weakness, general soreness.
It sounds like a horse race. Bilateral weakness is past general soreness who fires back on the inside. Seriously, they sound like horse racing names. Here comes Andrew Siciliano's ears on the outside, surging with giant strides.
Well, the only problem I have is that I got a lot of money on the 9-horse PA. I got a lot of money, emotional dollars that I'm ready to just shove into the middle of the table on the 9-horse.
Well, you better hope the horse doesn't stud park like Miser.
I always love that one.
Because then you'll leave the track like half the crowd last night at TCO Stadium when they heard general soreness has infiltrated the knee of the kid.
You can't stud park in a busy ramp when there are 5 cars behind you. That's all I'm going to say.
Right, but the term stud park, it just ain't hitting me. And it's not like every term I've ever invented hits everybody the way you're supposed to be hit, like you've always been hit. And you stay hit, but stud parking, ooh.
Yeah, it sounds weird to say it.
Stud parking.
I agree with you.
What's stud parking and where does said stud park?
I always love that.
I got a lot of money on this 9-horse, and I need this 9-horse to come through. I don't want to hear that it's a gelding. I don't want to hear that it's been a scratched. I don't want to hear any of that. I'm pumped for number 9.
I know.
Everything I saw, even the ugly pick, I'm all in on number 9 in the long game, in the long play, in the long term.
That's because you're an elite football mind.
I agree with that, absolutely. And most that listen to 9 to Noon would agree that the elite football minds, this is where we come to graze.
Oh, no doubt.
On football factoids.
I'm just very happy you listen closely to 9 to Noon.
I always love that one.
To cultivate that football mind, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful child.
I take my own notes off the things that I say.
JJ McCarthy wasn't at practice last night.
Oh, my God.
Sore knee, you say. All right. Everything good here with the affable kid? The answer is yes, because the only inciting I did on this last evening was to make sure amputation was not required.
I always love that one.
And once we learned that, then we could just move on with our lives. And I just don't, it's for all intents and purposes, I think even a quasi-elite football mind rube, specifically those who listen to the Covenant 9 to Noon, would recognize the low-key opinion is that Sam Darnold's probably going to be the starting quarterback against the New York Giants. Can I get a witness on that? That would be an absolute yes, right?
Yeah, hallelujah, amen.
Well, then why would Darnold kick McCarthy in the knee?
I always love that one.
After he takes the hit, fires it to Jackson left boundary on the wonderful, wonderful dime. I mean, there can't be that. Why didn't he kick Brock Purdy in the knee?
Well,
I always love that one.
The key to all of this is that Sam Darnold's going to start week 1, and Sam's very confident in that. I think Sam's confident in his abilities, and I think that he looked very good in the offense in that drive on Saturday.
One drive, put him on ice. We've seen enough.
But the key for Darnold, though, is Darnold is forward thinking.
Yeah.
Darnold's thinking about what the crowd's doing if he throws a pick in week 7.
Oh my gosh.
He's looking ahead.
Above average.
If you're Sam Darnold, you better be forward thinking after those years with the Jets.
I always love that one.
Father, there has to be more. Show me more.
Plan for the future.
Show me more. Show me more. All right. So all right, let's get serious. 3-2. The coach did say, because Nordo, I wasn't at the press conference, but it wasn't exactly the buzz of the sideline at night practice last night. But, the scribes were bouncing around and talking about it and stuff. And
how was that last night? I saw a video.
Elite.
You were out there on the field. The coach was talking to the fans.
Yeah, elite.
Kind of a party, right?
Yep. Loved the night practices. Loved the and you as a dad. Now, granted, I mean, the girls are 9 or are they 8?
They're 9, yes.
Yeah, so the twins are 9, and what's Hannah up to now? 3 months?
She's 2 and change.
There we go. So little kids, little problems. Big kids, big problems. But you're getting to the age with your children because you've been to the Vox Box at Canterbury Park. You've seen the pictures that I have hanging up there.
Well, and I see the chocolate fingerprints that my kids have put on the windows at Canterbury Park from the M&Ms.
Right, and you couple that with walking through a rock garden, then going right into my hot tub and having the pebbles get in the filters and subsequently costing me $17.50.
I always love that one.
You're doing a great job. Honestly, I don't care what all the other parents around here say. I think you're doing a great job.
I always love that one.
All right, 3-2. So there, you see a lot of pictures with Coley Boley and little Larry at Fancato training camp. There's even one with a former receiver the Minnesota Vikings have with initials SC, had with the initials SC. My daughter's nickname is Coley, so of course we get a picture with her and Stacy Coley.
I always love that one.
And some pictures with Adrian Peterson and stuff, and it's just so weird when like Adrian was on the team and I'd be walking around practice or something, and then there might be 1 or 2 PA. And I'm like, must be a dyslexic Adrian Peterson fan.
I always love that one.
So that was the A topic, is how much the kids just genuinely enjoy the footballs flying into the stands, seeing Justin Jefferson. Harrison Smith is elite, mingling and interacting with all fans and kids and stuff like that. And
don't you think he's kind of grown into that role too? Or into that vibe? I mean, just over the course of Harrison Smith's career, it's been fun to watch him progress as an elite high-end player.
So you think he was standoffish before?
I don't think he was standoffish. I don't want, and I would never even say per se that he's antisocial. But trying to get words out of him, trying to get jokes and humor, the comfort level is something I think he's grown into. And I think now, at this stage of his career, you've seen it over the last 2 or 3, where he has gone from a guy that's certainly more private and internal to being a guy that connects really well with people. It's been awesome to see that.
Yep. He went from connecting hard with receivers for opposing teams because he kept getting fined $50,000 to connecting with the kids. Yeah, it didn't work. All right, 3-2. All right, let's be serious here.
Yeah.
So with McCarthy, if you want to see him play, so like in the Raiders game, if the belief is that you want to see him play into a half, get some adjustments and tutelage, and fire back out there to start the third, like in that Las Vegas game, I mean, ain't trying to be Vince Lombardi here or Don Coryell or John Robinson, but I think you'd want him to sniff, touch, and feel the first road trip of the equation. So, like, if he doesn't go on the trip, then what's going on with the knee? What's going on with the general? I mean, the only general I want to see on my television involves the little guy with the helmet and the white mustache and the insurance or whatever it is, like jumping car to car. I don't want to see general knee soreness with what one day will be our favorite quarterback. So him making this trip, which is today, and the practices are tomorrow and Thursday, and we are working on a doozy that I think we're going to close on today. courtesy of Vikings Media Relations, Peter Jean-Baptiste, who leads Cleveland Browns public relations. Very, very nice, affable man. I think you've met him when we do those Stefanski interviews after the Combine.
Yeah.
And the Vikings Entertainment Network. We're putting this whole thing together where I do believe tomorrow after practice, yours truly may have the privilege of sitting between Kevin Stefanski and Kevin O'Connell and doing a three-way interview that we will play back Thursday on the 9 to noon presentation.
That would indeed be a doozy. That'd be awesome.
We ain't into the end zone on that yet.
Okay.
So we're inside the 10.
First and goal.
But the team putting it together is of the elite nature, so we fully count on that.
As much as I love my favorite team, I think this is a 4-down situation. We're going to want to throw it.
And it'd be fun, too, because, hey, what an honor. Got the Kevins here. Kevin O'Connell, 2-time Coach of the Year. Kevin Stefanski was with the Minnesota Vikings for X amount of years. His final year, offensive coordinator, took an L against San Francisco, and then he became Coach of the Year for the Cleveland Browns in 2020. Let's begin with Kevin O'Connell. JJ McCarthy's knee, your thoughts?
I always love that one.
I appreciate that. All right, Kevin, Deshaun Watson and the potential PTSD.
I always love that one.
Probably not the greatest ways to start interviews with friends, family, and or foes. So this bears following because Skull Nation was all abuzz and Twitter on Twitter about this young man, JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, not this JJ.
Here we go, Paul!
Here we go, Paul. Off to Cleveland. If you're Sam Darnold, seriously, how do you feel about all this hype with JJ McCarthy? Let's unfurl some ideas and reasons for you to text us, and then we will read back the texts or listen to some of the talkbacks with some of these talkers, and we will opine as we will opine accordingly. Now, the scribe from the Strib is in studio at 10 o'clock, and then we have News du Nord, and we got much more after that. But it's 64686 for the texting, and I'm just going to fire off 4 for you right now. Nordo has a handful. If anything hits you, cool. If it doesn't, enjoy your day. And thanks for listening to 9 to noon, and here they are. JJ McCarthy, general knee soreness aside. General knee soreness. Do you think he should start the season and why? JJ McCarthy, do you think he should be the starting quarterback week 1 and why? What excites you about J.J. McCarthy off the Vegas game? If you're Sam Darnold, what are you thinking about all this hype and everything that you see, hear, and read? Sam was fine in the Raiders game. Sam was fine. One series, and like Bursich said, put him on ice, like one of those flopping fish at the Pike Place Fish Market in Seattle. And overall, from a general soreness standpoint or a general standpoint, what do you think of the squad into the season? Skull. How about them Queens? Look pretty good against the Raiders, PA. Them Queens. What do you think of the squad into the season? There are 4. Nordo has 5 more, and this segment is 9 for 9. McCarthy wears number 9. Perhaps the pain in whatever knee is sore is a 9 of 10, which we're hoping it's not. And we have 9 little baby talkers for you, and here they are.
Indeed, yeah. On top of those, I love those. Was the interception a disqualifying moment for you? If you're somebody that is not thinking that he should start the season, you saw that early interception. Are you thinking that is proof upon itself? And that type of moment, it's a glass half full, glass half empty exercise here. Whether it's what he did after the pick and bounce back, or seeing the interception, is that a disqualifying moment?
And I'm Dan Patrick.
What are the concerns that you have about him in totality at this stage? His size, his frame. Ooh, he's a little diminutive. He's a little thin in certain spots. He had the athleticism to slither his way out of contact and move the chains on Saturday. But are you worried about anything in terms of what he looks like at this stage?
And I'm Rhonda Moss.
Are you still okay with the idea of Kirk playing the entire season? So you're not Kirk, Sam Darnold. Are you still okay with the idea of Sam Darnold playing the entire season? You saw what you saw on Saturday. There's hope building. You're super positive on it. You're super high on it. Can you wait? Are you patient? Can you wait for 2025, or is that completely out the window?
I like how you set that up with the ding, 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 ding. Or can you wait? Love it. Shades went down, then they went up. Wow.
And how much pressure will fans put on the team and to Sam Darnold with JJ looming?
Oh, I like that.
That's a question that I truly have popping in my head is after what you saw. Now, general
keeps you up at night.
General soreness aside,
stud parking aside,
we hope that you get the chance to see JJ on Saturday against Cleveland, and then in the preseason finale against the Eagles. But if what we saw Saturday persists, and we do start with a tough schedule, there will be trials and tribulations associated with the 2024 Minnesota Vikings. How much pressure in some of those moments, and how early will you start calling for the rookie to replace the veteran?
And here's an added one on the fly because of some highlights I'm looking at via the television here in the 651 Carpets Plus studios. So did you watch Caleb Williams and/or Bo Nix? And you're like, see, I told you. I watched all of Bo Nix's snaps. I mean, he's 35 years old. I've seen him play, for the last 20 years since he was in middle school.
I always love that one.
And I've told you, Bo Nix, Bo Nix doesn't have knee soreness. Are you of that variety? 64686. There really is no need for teeth gnashing until there is. If he doesn't go on the trip, he doesn't go on the trip, and we figure out why he didn't go on the trip, and we recognize the whole thing is a trip. And 9 to noon has not been of the belief. The 21-and-a-half-year-old was going to start against the New York Giants, so therefore I just a mogul down the hill, a little baby mogul like you're skiing down the hill, a little metaphorical bump in the road, maybe a pothole the con avoids with those giant tires being the Rube and the Rubicon. Is it that? 64686. I don't know why I talk like that. 64686 or the super special iHeartRadio app microphone. We text and talk back more than people know. Lavelle E. Neal III, ballyhooed columnist for the Star Tribune, will join 9 to noon around the corner. Then we will unfurl some of the texts and/or talkbacks because we text and talk back more than people know. The Scribe is in studio at 10, and that's very cool. Then we have some news du Nord and some Kevin O'Connell sound and more texting and more football conversation that envelops and encapsulates the 9 to noon presentation each and every weekday at FM 100.3.
Here we go, Paul!
KFAN. The kids call it KFAN, and we'll be right back.
No, I wouldn't be too much worried if I was Sam Darnold. He knew going in that this was going to happen. He wasn't the long-term thing. He was the transition quarterback, and this is just part of his job. Now, that doesn't mean he shouldn't go off fighting for it and playing to win. He's a good quarterback. He was drafted 3rd overall for a reason. He was young when he got drafted. Got drafted in a bad situation. Now he's in a good one. Let's see what he has.
Excellent talkback left via the free iHeartRadio app, where you can text and talk back more than people know with a 9 to noon. We are in search of Star Tribune columnist Lavelle E. Neal III. Should be joining us shortly to chat about the Minnesota Twins and this pivotal series with the Kansas City Royals. And also his thoughts on his favorite football team, the Chicago Football Bears, and what was unfurled with Caleb Williams. And like I said yesterday, I watched all 20 of those snaps, and I liked him. I mean, my man looks like he has a little superstar to him. And you can you can't really dive deeply all in on that situation off one preseason game. But if you take what we are being told or those have seen he did at USC and then parlay it to the National Football League, it indeed looks like old Caleb Williams could be a playmaker of all playmakers ever to playmake. Now, with the Minnesota Twins, they have a cool series right now against the Kansas City Royals, and in the game last night, they win 8-3. They outslug the Royals 10-8, which is cool because as we mentioned yesterday, the baseball team went punchless into the day and to the night just a little bit. And then, now all of a sudden you got Kansas City, thanks to superstar Bobby Witt hitting .347 with a slugging percentage at slugging percentage is really good. And then they take a 2-0 lead, top of the second, but then we hang 6 on Brady Singer et al. And the Twins ended up winning 8-3. And joining us now is columnist Lavelle E. Neal III, Star Tribune, StarTribune.com. At Lavelle Neal is where you can find him via the tweet machine. Good morning, Lavelle. How have you been? Good morning, Lavelle. How have you been?
All is well. How are you doing?
Right on, man. What the state of the Twins post some negative injury news over the weekend. It was just interesting how they learned the news about Stewart and about JoJo, and then they lose back-to-back games. But it was a nice bounce back last night against a team not as good as Cleveland, but you get down 2-0, then you hang a 6 on somebody as we approach mid-August. And then the stretch run of September, the state of the squad. What are you thinking about the Twins? And good morning.
Well, I'm thinking that they're never going to get healthy. It's going to be a mess. Hi. Hey, Sean. How you doing? All right. Good seeing you, too.
Hi, Sean.
I'm so sorry. Did you want to talk to the girl?
Are they out here? Oh, hold on. Let me hook up with you later. I'm doing a radio show. Yeah. Thanks.
Who's Sean? Who's Sean?
Sean McCauley, the father of...
Terry
McCauley and Reese McCauley, who played for the Golden Gophers women's golf team.
Oh, wow. Wow. So,
I'm out at Chaska right now. Actually, I'm in your neck of the woods. I'm in Chaska for the USGA Amateur.
Did we catch you at a bad time? Are you okay?
No, some guy just recognized me and saw me and came rolling up and saying hi.
Did he ask for an Al Newman autograph?
I always love that one.
No, he did not ask for an Al Newman autograph.
State of the baseball team. Your thoughts?
It's obvious they're never going to be healthy for the rest of the season. Who knows who's going to be the next one to break down? They're going to have to improvise and overcome, which is something that Tom Kelly phrased and Ron Gardy had up on his wall in his office. You just have to overcome this stuff, man. And they're going to have to rely on some young cats to get it done. Hopefully, they can get all their healthy. Hopefully, they can get as healthy as they can down the stretch here. Correa getting in the lineup would be a big plus. Buxton left yesterday's game with a sore hip. How long is that big going to be now? Is that going to be a couple of days? Does it need a week? Does it need to go on the IL? It's just nonstop. The hits just keep coming with this team, and they've got to figure out ways to win when they're not 100% healthy or 90% healthy. To be honest with you, can they do it? Absolutely. Although I'm a little worried about the pitching staff, both the rotation because of injuries and the depth in the bullpen and guys not being healthy. It's just a mess here. But as they showed over the weekend against Cleveland, they should have won Saturday's game and could have come back and at least tied Sunday's game after sweeping Cleveland in the doubleheader on Friday.
Yep.
That they're not going to be pushovers even at less than 100% the rest of the way in this division. So, for this to happen, they're going to have to hit. They're going to have to hit because there's going to be days when they're going to have to hit their pitching because you got the David Festa. You got three cats who are rookies now in the Twins rotation.
Yep.
You got Simeon Woods Richardson, you got David Festa, and you got the kid who's starting tonight, Xavier Matthews. There's going to be days when they're hitting and sticking. There's going to be other days when they're going to get hit and stuck. And the offense is going to have to carry this team a little bit to out-hit a pitching staff that is showing signs of weakness because of lack of depth.
One of the several things that I liked about last evening is that there was a Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis went, I think it was 2 for 2 last night he had the home run. But nevertheless, he had just been kind of a little in and out with the old hitting, some 1 for 4s and 0 for 4s and things like that. And I get it's a cycle game, marathon, not sprint, as we've been taught. But if what you're saying with Paddock done, Ryan done, and now you got to stretch that pitching and subsequently maybe stretch the relief corps. Well, then if you're going to identify yourself with hitting, then Royce Lewis just kind of has to steal the show a little bit, which he did last night.
And he's capable of doing that. We saw this last year when he was Mr. Grand Slam, and hitting a ton when he's healthy. The thing with him is he breaks down too. He's got to stay healthy. And I thought it was interesting how he spoke about Bobby Witt Jr. and hopefully he can become friends with him and get some tips on how to deal with the ups and downs and the physical demands of a long season, because Bobby's been doing it fairly well here since they called him up.
Right.
And Mr. Witt is now in the race for AL MVP. Definitely. I'm sorry, Yankee fans. Sorry, thinking ain't gal. It's not a lot that Aaron Judge is going to be the MVP.
Really?
Bobby Witt has lifted this Royals team into contention.
Mm-hmm.
He's comfortably in the lead for the best batting average. He's stealing bases. He's driving in runs, leading the league, I believe, in hits, up there at extra base hits, playing a premium position at shortstop. He has transformed this Royals team into a team that has hope now for the future. And Royce, being able to tap into some of that, help his durability so he can stay in the lineup as long as possible. That's all a good thing. He views Bobby Witt as a contemporary, and contemporaries like to share information, and hopefully those guys create some sort of professional bond that both can flourish off of. So, but you're right. I mean, Royce is going to be a key figure here. He's darn near the fulcrum of the offense right now, and you need Buxton in there as well. The refabricated version of Matt Wallner is very encouraging. He's making more contact. He's hitting the ball hard, exit velocity. And Willie Castro, make the All-Star team. He was slumping a little bit, but that 3-run home run he hit yesterday was a big blow.
Yep.
So if Willie can finish the season strong, that could be a plus as well. And the key is Carlos Correa coming back from this plantar fasciitis. That's a little more nagging that people than the Twins let on to be. But it looks like they're committed to make sure that foot is totally healed before you put him back out in the field, and that's a wise thing to do.
Hey, with Mike Witt's kid, all right, with Bobby Witt Jr., is it too grandiose or too convenient to be like, when I watch him, he reminds me of Mike Trout? I mean, he just got some Mike Trout to him with the way he runs the bases and hits and stuff. You see any of that?
I see a little bit of that. Trout was slightly more stockier, broader shoulders, he's not dead. Slightly stockier, broader shoulders, and, was an outfielder. Witt, definitely faster than Trout, I think. Yeah, but Bobby Witt has the fastest sprint speed in Major League Baseball right now. So, yeah, he could fly, and he's got pop. Can he hit 40 home runs a year? Possibly. Can he be a 40-40 guy? Not out of the question. I think he's going to be a perennial 30-30 guy. And playing shortstop, the way he plays, his range is ridiculous. He has a strong arm. There are some Trout-like things with Bobby, especially the way he swings the bat, especially how they both are able to tag in pitching on the inside part of the plate and rocket it out to left. But I think Bobby's going to be in his own guy going forward. I will say this for Royals fans. I mentioned this in the paper on Sunday. Bobby Witt Jr. has a chance to be the best Royals player since George Brett.
Right. Yeah, I read that. Lastly, did you watch your guy this weekend? 20 snaps. Caleb with that speed. He gets around the edge on a bootleg right. And the way he set that defensive end up, my man fell. I mean, he was so flummoxed by Caleb Williams' speed, the defensive end just fell. And then I think Caleb hit DJ Moore for like 10. But a good start for your guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much to take out of these preseason performances. You just want to see the talent. You want to see what they have to work with. They're probably, putting them in situations where they can, where they're comfortable with what they're doing out there. But watching Caleb move, first of all, he could throw on a run, which is something Justin Fields couldn't do. He gets rid of the ball, something Justin Fields had trouble doing. The two plays that stood out to me was when the pocket was collapsing, he did not panic. He was able to dump the ball off to Swift for a nice little 25, 30-yard gain. And then the rollout to the right, the edge rusher coming in, pump faking the guy to set him up, and then throwing a ball that was a laser 40 yards in the air to Cole Kmet down the sideline. I saw that. I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. So I just want to see how this thing develops, man. I still argue that JJ McCarthy's in a better situation than Williams because he doesn't have to come in and be the guy. That's what Sam Darnold is for, unless JJ decides to outplay Sam. Which could happen either early in the season or in the middle of the season. Caleb's got to come in and be the guy right away. I think that's asking a lot for a rookie quarterback. But he's got weapons around him, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. That's a hell of a wide receiver combination. You got a highly touted draft pick in Roma Duze as a third receiver. There's some stuff there. And if Shane Waldron, the Bears' first-year offense coordinator hired from Seattle, if they can scheme up the right things for him, he's going to put up some numbers. This is going to be a very fascinating NFC North division with the 4 quarterbacks and the 2 young guns coming in to join the fray.
Yes, sir. You, my friend, are the best. Enjoy your day, and we'll stay in touch, all right?
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yep, see you, bud. At Lavelle Neal via Twitter. He's Lavelle E. Neal III, columnist in ballyhooed fashion for the Star Tribune and StarTribune.com. Let's pay off some of those opening segment text messages, etc. when 9 to noon continues. Around the corner, it is 9:45 in the neighborhood. Good morning from KFAN.
Longtime season ticket holder, fly up for the games. You absolutely start Sam Darnold game 1. You help develop JJ, see what he can do. But the minute Sam starts to fall apart, as I believe this is a building year for the Vikings, you put JJ in and you cautiously help him build towards the future of the franchise.
My man's all calculated and firing verbal bullets with his talkback off the 9 for 9 we unfurled opening segment at KFAN. This is your general soreness leader of the fan and KFAN.com.
Indeed. Now, with that talkback, PA, that has been kind of I don't want to call it conventional wisdom per se, but it's been the accepted plan, I think, by many Vikings fans. But that was kind of why in the 9 for 9 I had asked, are you still okay with Sam Darnold playing the entire year? Because as that individual said on the talkback, longtime season ticket holder, flying up for the game, safe travels, the idea that this is a rebuilding year. So when does that leash become short enough?
Yeah, this ain't no rebuilding year.
But that is a perception that many Vikings fans have. Again, just you get to see, you get a taste, you get a nibble, a morsel of Sam Darnold in that Raiders game, and for the most part, you have to like what you saw there. A 12-play drive, even had a chance to close on a touchdown, and Naylor couldn't grasp it.
I haven't watched that play back. I don't know if you saw the replay, but should it have been caught? Was it thrown in a good spot, but just good play by super special Jack Jones, number 1 for the silver and black?
Well, I didn't have all 22. So I didn't see.
Eyes, you can watch the replay. I missed the replay.
I didn't see every angle of it, but from the angle that I saw, I thought that was a very gettable ball. It was a tough 50-50 situation where if this is the regular season and that's Justin Jefferson, you're anticipating that he muscles his way through a 50-50 opportunity, and that's a touchdown. Ron in fan line, his take on it from a wide receiver perspective, he didn't necessarily like the route that Jalen Naylor ran.
Ron catches that pass covered by Nate Clements of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Very good point.
Well, and that's the problem is with Red Zone Ron, we know where he made his money. And so that in itself is a bias. His idea, though, is that he didn't think Naylor sold the corner well enough when he cut inside.
Oh, so it was a little shoulder shake like I'm going to the corner, then dart inside.
Right. So he made a 70-30 become a 50-50 with that situation.
Or as Sauce would look at it, he made a 75-40 become a 52-63, and it just didn't work out.
But people don't. But there are people that are saying, okay, it's Sam Darnold, and we root for the best, but it's still Sam Darnold. So that's going to be, I think, a hurdle that many Vikings fans have to get over.
Well, it's not,
or don't have to get over. That's just how they're looking at the season,
right? And if you just look at past performances and take it, you take that low hanger right there, and you don't unpack it with the for whom was he playing, What was the direction of the offense and the defense? Did he have a throw-first coach? Does he have a right to mature and become more experienced and learn things from next-level Shanny? I think he's only like 26 years of age. It's I can't be mad at the take if somebody's like, I've watched Sam Darnold, and I don't think he's good, until I watch Sam Darnold, and I think he's good and gets the plan, and A gets to B and gets to C, and and you push a green button, and JJ runs to the back left corner.
Well, what about this via the text line, 64686? I think JJ McCarthy has the arm of Cousins, but the mobility of Teddy. I think he starts by week 8.
He has the arm of Cousins, the mobility of too much time for Teddy, and the moxie of Brett Favre. I can buy all of that.
The athleticism that both he and Sam Darnold are showing, mobility-wise, they're more athletic. I think more athletically gifted and more instinctually gifted from a running standpoint than Kirk was.
Yes,
that's how I'm viewing it. And I don't want to say, well, and it's not close, but I think there's a natural element there.
Yeah,
where we've talked. I mean, over the last 6 years, PA, how many times? Well, the rushing TDs that he had in Washington would be nice if he got out. Hey, we're watching camp practices, and Kirk's doing some reps throwing on the run. Yeah. That's cool. That could be a wrinkle.
Yeah.
But that seems to be a natural element of both Darnold's and McCarthy's games.
Yes, sir. Ain't gonna argue with you on that.
Via the text message machine 64686. It's kind of a common sentiment. So we heard that talk back, and that's been a common sentiment as well, is rebuilding year and/or transitional year, or whatever terminology you want to throw on it. But this as well. Sam hasn't done anything to lose the job, and he shouldn't be worried about it. Instead, use it as motivation to perform and earn a big contract. McCarthy still has footwork to take care of, looking at film, and keep working on the playbook. No rush is needed.
Why?
I just love the sounder, and you get to be Horatio Kane all the time. I never get to be.
Fine. It's 2024. Be comfortable in your role as Callie Duquesne.
I always love that one.
Here we go, Paul!
Okay. It's 9:56. We're going to pause here shortly with the scribe around the corner. Anything else from the text machine or the talkbacks have been good?
Let me see here. Well, with all due respect, 9 to noon, this is Paul.
Yeah.
Y'all are being prisoners of the moment.
Okay.
McCarthy drafted and at 10 was a phenomenal, all caps, phenomenal pick for us.
With you.
However, it's way too soon to try to judge how good or not good he is at this point in his career. McCarthy will benefit from sitting behind Sammy D for one game of the season, or for game 1 of the season, excuse me, and probably several other games after that. In the words of the late, great Jerry Garcia, all good things in all good time.
What was the texter's name?
Paul.
Number 18, liked it.
Here we go, Paul!
Well done. 64686. Crowd loving it. The scribes around the corner don't leave.